I agree with you.
All right, guys. Hello, everybody. This is in case you can read the bottom there, we got our new ticker going on, which is really fun. It says, welcome. We are reading and discussing Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I personally am reading, listening, and doing the journal work because it's been the holidays. Anybody relate to that energy? So we're super excited. Today is chapter 5. It's called Survival versus Creation. And when I went through this chapter, it's like, you know this stuff, but suddenly light bulbs start going on. At least that's what happens for me. And I'm finding we're just making life really, really difficult. And it's been set up to be super simple. But where the difficulty I see comes from is that's the control that we're busting out of. I totally believe 2020 is divine feminine energy. I totally believe it's cooperation, working together, no competition, no bullying, just love and support. This chapter is all about love and support.
Totally love and support.
There's many books on it. We've all read these things, but sometimes it clicks, you know, like books, Ask and It's Given. That's about that, about the different levels. And the simplest thing is once you figure out your heart chakra's love and all the goodness above that is creating energy and sending energy out. And anything below that is draining and taking energy and making you more physical. I mean, this is the part that I'm like, oh my gosh, finally the light bulb went boom. You're more concerned with the physical and getting disconnected. And the more you get disconnected, the more physical you get. Horrible. Horrible. So anyway, I'm Brenni. And with me is
Samira.
Here's how do you see it? I see me on the left, Samira in the middle, and Angelina on the right.
Angelina, yes, from Minnesota. I'm in Minnesota.
Yes, this is very exciting. You are sandwiched between two Minnesotans right now. She'll fly back.
I'm flying back to New York tonight.
And the north and the south of Minnesota. So you're like, well, we're getting a blizzard of 12 feet of snow is what the 12 inches, 12 feet. Holy buckets, Batman.
Yes, that's what they said down here. They're supposed to, I think, about 8 inches of snow. 8 to 12 here. Just in time, and my plane leaves tonight at 8 p.m. So,
guys, snow impacts everything. Runways, ice, because it went rain to sleet to snow. So yesterday was really interesting watching people think they have a truck and can drive real fast. I was like, see ya in the ditch in a little while. Sure enough, there they are.
Wow.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about chapter 5, survival versus creation. It's about living in survival is like living in stress all the time. And your outer world becomes more and more real. The example in the book is about the deer. So deers are grazing along and they're just super happy and chilling out. And all of a sudden, whoop, here comes a coyote or a pack of coyotes chasing them. Boom! They're just running away, man. But they don't sit there like humans later and go, oh, I escaped that. But oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Adrenaline. I'm cool. Oh, wait a minute. And it constantly goes in our heads like this. So it's a blessing to be a human. And then we have to learn how to control this, because a deer's going to go back to grazing and be chilling out. They're not going to stay in that state of stress. That's what the beginning of this chapter is about. When you stay in that state of stress, you cannot be creative. And creative is godly. It's universal. It's your frontal lobe. And we're shutting it down and don't even know it. The guy that bugs you at work, where you walk in and go, you're laughing because you just got out of that job and you can relate. Like it probably just flashed in her head. You know? So to me, this year coming up is all about us loving ourselves more and not being so concerned about others. Like, how often do you see it where like, oh, I can sing better than her? You shut down all the blessings in the universe when you do that.
Completely. You totally do that.
So let's talk a little bit about like I had written down, list all the stress you have and how long you've had it. Because if you've been in debt for 10 years and that's all you're stuck in that cycle, that's remember guys, we talked about this, that's the antenna signal you're sending out to the universe. It's never going to shift unless you shift this mind shift. That's where you shift your life. So the next part of that, and I learned a lot interviewing natural pharmacists when I was in so much stress. My mom was in and out of the hospital a lot, and I had like deep grooves in my feet, like I have never taken care of them or something. She said that was a sign of stress. And that was the first time I started really hearing about digestive issues and stress, which when you go through the blessing meditation with Dr. Joe, that is your second chakra. Common sense would say you'd know that, but many people do not. So this is about rewiring your brain to be super healthy you. And some of the sicknesses in the book listed are rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, and you get a cold or you get sick easily because those are immune disorders. So Samira, let's talk a little bit. You and Angeline jump in here about, we want to talk about stress and when you stay in stress and the impact it has on your body. And then what do we do to shift it besides go through the journal? And
I'll give you my example. I have an extreme example of this. It's like I got married, and it was a very unhappy union, even though it was by choice. And because of the stress of the marriage in the first 6 months, I got very, very sick. I had to end up getting thrush. And when I went to the doctor, they told me I had leaky gut. I had never been sick like this ever before in my life. And because of the sheer stress of the marriage, I ended up getting severe candida and thrush and leaky gut. And so I had to really start from scratch again and really build up. I mean, they said to me, you have to do paleo. I mean, this is a time about 8-10 years ago. Paleo? What's that? And I overnight had to change my whole diet. I had to learn and develop on that. And it started helping. It took time to help. And I obviously went into do some therapy. But really, when you actually go through those things, obviously you're creating that stress level and the emotional stress that you're putting into your body. One of the things that really is to really, no matter what you're going through, and I've learned this so many times, and I'm talking to people about this now, I'm talking to my clients about this now, I'm doing this now, is how you have to make sure no matter what is happening in your life, you have to make sure that you open up your heart chakra. You open up your heart chakra and you send love to whoever it is.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man. We're a hands-on team here.
Yeah, and when you open your heart chakra, and when we open our heart chakra, because you could, as a pranic healer as well, you can see how you can scan it. But not just that, when you open up your heart chakra, you open up your crown chakra. So that basically you can actually get source energy and you actually open up your heart as well. And you're sending out love and peace and positivity. And the more you send out of that, the more you get back.
This is such a fact people don't get. Is Regina Meredith on Gaia was saying, every morning, the first thing you do is just get up and start saying gratitude. Just start saying it. And you're amazed at the flow that you start because you're being grateful. And grateful is what? Love and above. It's one of those things: joy, happiness, kindness, love. And so when simple. So you already start your day in a good mood, right? You're starting the energy flow. But I think it's important they understand that this stress, and especially the longer it is, and what type of stress. I do feng shui and elements. Oh, it's her. Okay. I just muted you for a minute. I do feng shui and the elements, and it goes through all the organs depending on what kind of stress. That was really the reason I had to shift from my mother's grief, because grief is the lungs. And I'm like, oh no, no lung cancer, nothing for me. So let's talk a little bit, Samira, because you are a coach who does this type of work about stress, the longer you have it, and where and how it impacts you.
So with stress, obviously it all starts with emotional. Okay, you always know that's easy. It could be anger, it could be sadness, depression, whatever these emotions are. They start off in your aura in terms as an emotional problem, but they slowly manifest into become a physical problem. Like anger, bitterness turns into cancer. You've got IBS, and a lot of these autoimmune diseases, which you just mentioned. These are all autoimmune diseases. These are diseases that, because we are so stressed, our body's out of balance. Our immune system is low, so that basically we're not, and we're then creating all these illnesses, and we're holding these emotions in our body. As a professional kinesiologist, we know that, we get sick, but then we're holding the emotion in our body, and that's part of the body that gets sick as well.
And it's not your physical body. I mean, everything is a system telling you. It's an alert things aren't going right. Just like we talked about the gut feeling. Yeah, that's saying don't go in that room with the creepy dude with an axe, Mm-hmm. If this ain't working, let your gut work, because that's the one you got to listen to.
The gut's the second brain. The gut is the second brain. And if you don't balance your gut, all those autoimmune diseases that you mentioned are illnesses, because your gut is misaligned. You've got the perforations, and then you create those rheumatoid arthritis. You create leaky gut. You create.
And then what happens? The dark side comes and gets you and starts you on pills, and you got this pill. Now you got a side effect. You got to get on another pill. I just went through this with my mom. Yeah. No one should be taking 30 pills a day. That's just wrong. Completely. Yeah, unacceptable. So what happens is, here's your body in stress. Now, it was just a fight or flight thing, guys. That's how we are. And what happens is, now as humans, we keep it in our mind, and we actually are stressing ourselves. We're so blessed. We can stress ourselves about future events. We can stress that have never happened, or events that have never happened, all the time. So you give all this energy, because you're an energy being, your consciousness, right? And you give all this energy to stress. And stress goes, cool, now I got to balance stuff out. So I'm going to go take from that organ, or take from that, or take from this. So the lack of energy, there's no energy for growth and repair in your body. I completely believe you can heal yourself. I completely believe that all disease comes from your mind. And people may get mad. But
I have worked with people who had autoimmune diseases, people who've had fibromyalgia, people who've got IBS.
Yes.
And these are all anxiety-related issues, and they're stress-related. You take the emotion away, you take the blocks, or the reason for the emotion, the constant thinking, or the anxiety, whatever the symptom is, you take that away, the body starts to heal. The body starts to heal. And I've done this enough times, and seen this enough times. We are an amazing body. We are the best computer we could ever have, because if we take away that stress level, if we take away the negativity, the whole mind.
That's why one thing is hanging out with the right people and having something to look forward to. That's the first thing my wise almost 93-year-old dad told me when mom passed. You have to have something to focus on, something, or your mind will revert back. And if you can't change the past, you don't think about it. I mean, it's amazing talking to older people, because they do things in simple terms, and it's exactly what we're studying now. Like, oh, the new age people just figured out. It's like, nah, go talk to my dad. He's been saying this for years, people. So let's talk a little bit, Angeline, about overproduction of the stress hormone. And it creates this human emotions, and this is right out of the book. Now, these are below the heart. And you can go find this in the book in the back of the chapter. So it creates the emotions of anger, fear, envy, and hatred. And that incites what? Feelings. Now, when you put feelings and emotions into it, that's the fire on, to make things really manifest, good or bad. And so now it incites feelings of aggression, frustration, anxiety, and insecurity, and causes us to experience this pain and suffering of sadness, hopelessness, and depression. So right now, before we get into this discussion, is this you? Do you know someone going through this?
Yes, I do. It's horrible.
It's horrible. And we need to share this out. If you know anybody at all, you guys, we are doing this for free to help people. And this works. This book works. This journaling works. Listening to it and being in a group of positive people. You can message any of us and we're going to help you.
Sure.
Exactly. And I think now domestic violence is on the increase, especially at this time of the year. I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that collective just for a second, because it does tap into that. So right now, you already got the collective in fear of, is the planet going to survive? Is America going to survive? What is going on? You know? And now it's the holiday, and no, not everybody has money. And then, you know, like we just had a hotel burn down that 200 people lived in Minneapolis.
Wow.
Day. But here's what the good stuff comes out of this, guys. There's something called Minnesota Blessings. It's a Facebook group.
Oh, okay.
You go out there, and these kids saw it on TV, and they donated all their presents. They're having an overflow of love and blessings. This is how we save the world. We're trying to save you, because you have to save yourself first, and then it's easy to save the rest.
Exactly.
So, Angeline, you're you understand the quantum field, and you're in quantum field coaching, and you quantum field coach. So let's talk a little bit. How is this possible? How is it possible to have these thoughts and create these negative emotions? And then how do those negative emotions keep going on and on?
Well, because the person who's going through that horrible time in their lives, they're manifesting that, and it's a vicious cycle. It's almost like a vicious cycle that they're putting themselves through. And there's a way out. Now, speaking for myself, like 9 years ago when I was going through my transition, because this lady came to me because she needed help, you know, I said, this is what I did during the holidays. I said, I went to go visit my parents, and then I flew back to New York and stayed in a hotel right through New Year's Day. And I said that was the only way I could deal with it. You know,
you got to love yourself first.
Love yourself first. So just something came over me. You know, I had joined at that time a health and wellness company, and I had a mentor at that time who changed my life. So it's important that you get yourself out there and have a support network. That was huge for me. That's why people say, "Boy, you're so positive."
Guys, you have to have and surround yourself with a group of positive people, or you are going to go back into that same energy. I do energy for a living. What do you think feng shui is? Your space reflects your life. That means take a look around. Is it in chaos? Your mind's in chaos. Your life is in chaos. Is it order? Yes. I mean, everything has an impact on your external. That's why we got to get your mind right, because you can't easily shift color, shapes, order, that type of thing, you know, in your home environment. But if this ain't right, you know, it's not going to work. Your mind is everything, and the first thing you got to do is love yourself.
Exactly. You got to love yourself first, and then you're able to love others.
The greatest love affair is with yourself.
That's right. Totally.
And it's the hardest thing to do. I just went through with Angeline with a coaching program. It wasn't my cup of tea. It was a little aggressive, but we did mirror work. Everyone should do mirror work. And look into your eyes, and it'll tell you if you love yourself or not.
That's right.
You will cry at one point if you do not do this type of work all the time and really love yourself. And the thing is, you know, he told us to stand there naked. He should have said, make sure to shut the blinds.
You know what? I started doing that. I dance naked in front of the mirror in the morning. I feel liberated.
You know what? I'm a naked person, so there you go, people.
There you go.
I live alone in the woods. I hate clothes, little as possible.
And you know, I live in an apartment building. I live in an apartment complex, but fortunately, the bathroom has no windows.
So shut the blinds if you're going to walk around naked, so you don't scare small children and have dogs barking.
On the fourth floor.
So guys, as you can see, just one thing about hanging around positive people is laughter. And it'll shift you out of where you're at. I'm a mind shifter, you know?
So, I have to tell you one thing. So I was working with a client the other day, and what she was struggling with, and she's done a lot of work with self-help and things as well. And what, you know, we did some work, we discovered some things quite deeply, and she let go of them. And then we had a follow-up session, and she's feeling the shifts, but she was still not used to releasing herself to be free. She had this mindset because she's from a culture where they contain everything. They're not meant to be laughing or smiling.
You'll explode eventually. Eventually you'll explode or your heart will.
So what we did is we started doing laughter yoga, and it was incredible. And in the beginning it was just weird, but it just went on and on. And the thing is, the whole body is slowly getting used to it, because if you're used to not moving in that right way, or to laughing and feeling free, you know.
Samira, I have to tell you, I did a summit and I interviewed a lady, and guys, this is like, you can do anything you want. So she was a laughter coach. I'm like, what? People get paid to be a laughter coach? Because we laugh all the time. Yeah. So how it came about was, she was like in physical pain on the floor, couldn't stand up. And it started with her just going,
Yeah.
until she could laugh more and more. And pretty soon she healed herself through laughter. Why? Laughter's a high vibration, guys.
Exactly.
And I can go through them. I don't have to. I mean, let's see. You guys guess. Is it positive or negative? Is it high vibrating? Anger, jealousy,
low.
you know, money, search of money all the time. Everything is physical money, money. No, and the one thing, the more you understand that if you associate yourself to look a certain way, we're going to get into this right now about the 99.999%, and everybody, not everyone, many people focus on the 0.00001%, and that is crazy, because that's all it is. It's like a fleck of pepper versus a big bowl of fruit. And we're going to concentrate on that one little speck, and it's going to take us off track. And then we get more stressed out.
Exactly. Right. About vibration today, because I was coming across a lot of these dating videos of people saying you have to do this and to do that if you want to meet someone, this and the other. And I'm just thinking, my goodness, you don't have to do any of this.
No.
Because if you open your heart chakra and you're vibrating at high level, you're going to meet the people on that high level frequency. That's all it is.
It's a frequency. You are an antenna sending out a frequency. Exactly. So it's hard to hear, but take a look where you're at in life. You created it. By the energy you send out, you keep getting the different situations, because then you chemically feel comfortable with the emotion that you have wired into yourself, believing that you are that somebody. We're just here to help you with the tools we've been given to rewire.
Exactly. And it's so important to say the right words to yourself. You have to be kind to yourself. You have to be compassionate to yourself. You say nice things to yourself. You never say anything negative, because the brain will remember this. And also the words you say is a vibration. Okay? So you have to be kind to yourself. You have to be loving to yourself. Even if you don't like all of yourself, you have to embrace all of yourself. But there is so much evidence, and I've seen so much evidence recently, and studying and doing all these things, so much evidence out there that if you vibrate at a specific level, you're going to attract only those people at that particular, or things or opportunities at that vibration.
Exactly. And that's what we were talking about before the show. What vibration I am going to shift to and allow in my future coming in. This doesn't just have to do with your personal life, because what you do for a living, you shouldn't think of as a job or work. You should look of it as,
exactly.
I get to out and help people. This is awesome, man. That's how you should get out of bed every morning, with joy and excitement. And exactly. If not, hey, cool. Now you know you're not happy. You really know you're not happy, and you can change it. That's the best part about all of it.
Absolutely, you can change it.
Exactly.
So 2020 is coming, and that's why it's important we keep these shows, going, because now we're going into book 2, and it's getting better in part 2 of the book.
And that it is. No doubt about it.
So let's keep rolling here. There's 3 parts that get focused. So stress triggers us to focus on these 3 things. One is the body, where we're talking about right now, that we focus on the physical part, which is 0.00001%. Your consciousness. You become less spiritual, less aware, less mindful, and less conscious when you concentrate on the physical. So we grow to be this materialistic people, and we're just consumed by the external environment. And what will all those people tell you? That money doesn't make you happy. because they're just things, and they're really even not things. They're an illusion.
Right.
So we're concentrating on something that's just an illusion. Okay, and then the other thing we concentrate on is time. We become so disconnected from who we really are. We are looking at ourselves as I own a house, I own a car, I am this, I am that, instead of who you really are. We are consciousness connected to the field of intelligence. So this triggers us to start going into now what we're talking about, survival emotions versus elevated emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So love or above is creating and releasing energy, and below that, it takes the energy away from you, and it's making you more physical matter. This is the point we really want to drive home today. You are consciousness, you are light. Everybody is. Everything is light condensed into form. Guys, that's scientific facts, okay? I study the science of it stuff. And so here we are. Let's just think about how stupid this is. What we're doing to ourselves right now. So first, we're listening to the media. We're being bombarded. I don't have a TV for a reason. Bombarded.
See, I don't either.
Well, you just turn it on, and the soap opera is exactly the same as it was 20 years ago. It's like, oh my God, the same people are on with the same problems. And why do you want to watch a show about problems? I don't understand soap operas. But programming, foods. And then you're eating all these foods that are processed, and your body isn't meant to have food that will stay like it looks fresh for a month. Something's wrong, man. If you have bread for a month and it still looks good, there might be something wrong. There might be some preservatives in there. So what's it doing to you? You're chemically based. We are altering through our mind, our food, and being bombarded by negativity. You're being controlled. That's just the fact of it, guys. And we're not being controlled anymore. We're a group of women who says, no, we are here to create a movement to go to the light and to get out of this illusion and this control. You are so much more. And that's why they want you to feel bad. They want you to be fearful. They want you to have doubt. They want you to go, oh, I need a pill because I have anxiety. No. In this journal, it says circle right here if you are any of these: angry, guilt, fear, shame, doubt, hatred, judgment, lust, competition. Those are low vibrating. So if you're any of those, you're going to struggle because you're getting into that materialistic, this is who I am.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
If you are like that, doesn't mean that you have to stay there, and there are ways to get you out. So what's the one thing that you can do first, Brenni, do you think?
I think gratitude is the number one key, is being grateful. And guys, all you have to do is think of 100 years ago. I mean, just think of 100 years ago. I love having hot water. I love taking a bath. I love Epsom salt, and that I can use aromatherapy. I have my aromatherapy going all the time. I shift by smells, by colors, by sounds. Oh man, I can play all this lovely music from YouTube and shift, that I don't have to go outside to go to the bathroom. That's a big. And some countries are like, oh, you have toilets inside. It's like, oh, it got 42 below zero last year. I would have hated to have had diarrhea or something and had to go out and that. Can you imagine? And then here's a corn cob or a Sears newspaper. We've come a long way, baby.
That's right.
So to me, gratitude, if you start your day with gratitude, that right away will put you in the positive energy flow. And my opinion is, everyone, meditation is simply connection to your higher self to get guidance every day and call your God squad out, or your universal squad, whatever you want. The light beings that are helping you to be the best you and make the change on the planet, that's who I want to work with. So I get up and I say, I'm thankful for these things. Ooh, and I'm thankful for coffee pots and coffee. I like coffee.
I love coffee too.
And I was very upset I left.
See my mom's coffee cup?
Yeah, and I left all mine sitting on the counter when I went to London. Would you like some tea with cream?
Tea with cream?
I said, no, not cream.
No. Thank you. I want that American coffee. Oh, the strong stuff with just water? Yeah.
This is strong stuff, by the way.
Baby. I didn't do the tea with cream. I drink tea, but I've never put cream in it.
I put honey in my tea.
Yeah, and it should be within 30 miles. Okay, guys, so gratitude. So now we've got this flow going and coherence. That's what we want to talk about. You don't want to be up and down and out of whack. Order is universal's first law. So you get up with gratitude and look at all the great things you have. You don't look and go, oh my God, my credit card bill's coming due. Where am I going to get the money? How am I going to do that? Because you just went right down the rabbit hole. You get up, and one thing you said, the key word to me was opportunities open up. So here you are, you're sending in this frequency out. Whatever frequency you send out is the opportunities that come back. Why do you think drug addicts are drug addicts? They send out, where's my crack? Where's my crack rock? Who's gonna end? Miraculously, people show up. They don't want to be there, but that's a signal they're sending out. All we have to do is change the signal, but you got to change your mind to change the signal.
Absolutely.
Absolutely agree. No doubt about it.
Okay, so next on the journal, it talks about living as nobody in creation and forgetting about being somebody. So, do you guys understand what that means? I mean, you read the chapter, I take it. Living as a nobody in creation. That's talking about being in that void. You're a nobody. So, have you ever been like so immersed in a project you love? Like when I learned how to do clay pots, man, I thought that was the coolest thing. And like hours would just pass by because I was in creation mode. It doesn't matter if you're creating a digital product, if you're creating a coaching program, whatever you're in creation, your frontal lobe is kicking in. When you come from your heart and you're doing something you love, that's creation mode versus being a somebody. Oh, I made that pot. That's all about me. That's the difference right there, because the universal grid you can tap into when you get out of your ego and think it's all about you, which nothing is about you. It's all about us together as a group. So the next part we're going to talk about is the frontal lobe, because I never took any of those classes. I was into physics and all that kind of stuff. I didn't take anatomy, which is funny because in feng shui I've studied so much anatomy because I relate your space to your health. So I need to know what's going on. I go look at your space and I can tell you the health issues you have and what adjustments in your space, your environment we need to make. So I've learned more after school. Never took that stuff because we had to cut frogs open, and that was not interesting to me. No. So frontal lobe has 3 essential functions. Becoming self-aware. So let's talk about becoming self-aware. Amira, you were kind of talking about this one. Becoming more self-aware. So that's the first one. I'll just go through them. Number 2 is creating a new mind that thinks in a new way. And the third is about making your thoughts more real than anything else. So the last one is totally about imagineering, visualization, go sitting in that Rolls Royce, go putting that. And Angeline and I just went through a class on this, and people are like, well, I am never going to be driving a Rolls Royce. It's not about that.
Right.
It's, Angeline, you know what it's about. Tell them what it's about.
I know what it's all about. It's about raising your vibrational level. So I was driving an Alfa Romeo and it felt great. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. And I'm a car lover. I love cars. Yeah. So I went to a Maserati dealer. I drove to a Maserati dealer, got the royal treatment, and I test drove an Alfa Romeo, and it felt great.
You were in a different frequency and vibration.
Same thing. I went to a local Rolex dealer in town, and I wore a $22,000 watch, a Rolex. I've never done that.
And people, what do they say? I would never, ever wear a 20. Right. And it's like, guys, okay, fine, but there is enough for everyone. The universe says everything is yours. We are the ones stopping ourselves from having everything. So if there's no lack and no limitation, and you can have a watch, and you can have a watch, and you can have a watch, and I can have, why not? Who cares? Because money is a number that man invented and put a value on.
It raises your vibrational level.
Hey, listen to this. Lobster used to be poor man's food. Now it's expensive. I love lobster.
Me too.
They gave the poor people, go eat that crustacean.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Right. Okay. So we got to become more self-aware of our talk, of our mind. I can tell you right now, day one, guys, get writing down the thoughts, and you're going to be shocked. Like, even carry a little recorder with you to do it quick on your phone or something. And I just go, mind shift, because I'm not going to do it. Or you can yell, change, stop, whatever word you want, because you got to look like, okay, this car's been driving down this roadway and created this path for 20 years.
Yes.
And now you're telling me there's a shortcut and it's prettier and I can drive along the lake and look at that. Wow, I want to go that way. Oh, but I got to create a new path. Now, the horse would just go down the old path, or your car's so used to it. But now we want to go a different way because it's a better way. It's prettier. It's better for me. And so we have to create those new wires. So, and how you find out is, what are the stories? What were the road signs along the old path? And then also be aware of your emotions. I know my chart in different things in human design and feng shui, Minghua. So I totally understand myself. But I want you to forgive yourself right now, because I have a snap. I'm a person who has to breathe through and not react. But I'm also a wood element. So frustration and anger are my wood element, and human design is emotional frustration. So I know these are already part of my body design, and there's reasons for it, guys. But anyway, I know I have to stop immediately. And the biggest thing is the holidays came and I did my meditations, and before I went in the door, I knew who would normally irritate me in the situation. So I sat and I visualized just love coming out of my heart, and everybody getting along.
See?
And everything just flowed. I had zero holiday issues. And usually it's like, everyone's.
And actually, you know what? You just took a chord with me. Normally, that would have been me. No holiday issues.
Nothing. Because your vibration is shifting, and when you shift yours up, guys, that shifts the people up around you.
Ah, there we go. There we go.
I've actually had a client say to me, so a client worked with me and we raised her vibration. She started loving herself a lot more. Her boyfriend, who lives with her, 3 months later said to her, I don't know what it is, but I seem to be loving you more than I was before.
See?
Well, just think of the energy you're sending out. And we're so stubborn. We're like, no, I'm going to be stuck in that story of anger, madness. And it's like, no, I'm not. Once you say no, like, I took a week off just to get my flow in order and figure out what I want for 2020. Because I'm excited to be a podcaster. I'm excited with this group of people I'm involved with and working with, because I am setting the vibration of what I'm accepting. Angela knows well. We've had some deep conversations.
Oh,
yeah. I'm more of the feminine energy, more of the loving energy, more of the how can I help you? And I really do believe women like checklists more than men. I'm just saying, they want structure. Tell us what to do and we'll do it. Don't make us guess. We're not like you. We're not going to drive around in circles and wave at the gas station attendant. I'm going to say, dude, where do oh, just take a left. Cool. I've been taking a right.
Like myself, I need structure.
Right. So you have to, this is all about journaling. What have you been saying to yourself, who you are, and being aware you're not that physical being, that you're a spiritual being. And you can honestly, this is your year. This is your month. This is your moment. We are here to help you. Like I said, we do these live discussions. You ever want to get on and get some counseling? We can do it live. We can do it off. We're here to help you. This is what we do. My job is to help people. Angeline, what do you do for a living?
Right, exactly. I help.
Helping people. That's our mission.
Podcast. I am working on my own podcast.
You guys, and people go, what's a podcast?
What's a podcast?
Oh my God. Have you guys heard of iTunes? Oh.
And I surrounded myself with all these professional, you know what I mean? Like coaches and professional people.
I love it because I can do dishes. I can drive.
Right. That's my passion, is to help people
get the
break through that cycle. You know what I mean? That negative cycle. That's
That's what it's all about, raising the vibration, helping you rewire. And everybody's different. Like, I totally am a country Minnesotan girl.
That's okay. Actually, Owatonna, where I am, population 35,000 people.
Yes, but somebody very into, like, I don't know, New York people, a fancy New York person wouldn't probably want to work with country Bren, that's why we're out here. We all have different personalities, but we all do this, get you to the same place. It's who you work with the best.
Exactly. Absolutely.
So I just wanted to make a point about the book. If you guys go to page 119.
Let me grab the book. I have it right with me.
And by the way, Joe, I don't really like the shaded numbers at the bottom of the book. It's really hard to see the page.
Why did he do that? Yeah, I was wondering why he did that. I was like,
I don't know, but we should give him feedback.
I was actually listening to Joe Dispenza this morning. I love Dr. Joe.
Though, I know I'm going to talk to him. I know I have no doubt in my mind I'll meet him and we will be friends. I mean, he's just an average guy who is super intelligent and giving us tools to save the planet. That's all.
He's actually coming to Dubai next month.
I might. Samira knows me. I'm a traveling fool, so
Dubai, huh? He's actually doing his workshop in Dubai next month.
Yeah, I follow him. Like I said, I do his meditations every morning.
Yeah.
And can you feel the space around the space? I mean, I got Joe in my ear, people. I can hear him. But he shifts me. His work shifts me. That's why we did this book first, because this book will shift you. It'll shift, even if it just shifts you up one level. Yay!
Why not?
You're up a level. Exactly. So the 2 states of the mind and the body on page 119, it looks like.
I know what it looks like.
Yes. Okay, guys. Right now. So go through this is what I would do. It's going to give you a big aha where you're at. Are you in survival mode? Or are you in creation mode? And you're going to have them in both. But if you have 99% in survival mode, here's the facts. You're going to get a disease. You're going to have trouble in your life.
It's a given. It's a given.
It's a given. You're going to have struggle in your life because not only is disease a vibration, so is debt, so is money. And what is your attachment to that? So if you're in debt and you're thinking about it all the time, and that's creating your dis-ease, your disease, and you don't shift it, you're going to get worse and worse. You're going to attract more debt. You're going to attract more people in debt that want to tell you money don't go on trees. I told you about that. You can't do that. You're going to get the negative. And who are you listening to? Most of people listen to people that are broke, or they want to give you relationship advice. They're in shitty relationships or no relationships. It's just like this, guys. I am not taking how to get in good shape from someone 400 pounds that smokes.
Right.
That's not mean. That's common sense. So this is going to give you a big aha. So why don't, Angeline, you read what survival is, and then Samira, you can read what creation is, and then we'll.
Okay, survival. Okay, stress, contraction, catabolism, disease, like we talked about, disease, imbalance, breakdown, degeneration, fear, anger, sadness, selfish, environment, body time, energy loss, emergency, narrow focus, separate, reality determined by senses, cause and effect, limited possibilities, incoherent, no. That's a survival.
Okay, so let's just talk about a couple of them. We talked about stress. Contraction is going within. So when Samira was talking about the lady or people that hold things in, you can't. Even God lets it go. It's called thunder and lightning. It's explosion of energy. It has to be let out.
Exactly.
Disease, imbalance, yeah. Breakdown, degeneration, all these things, guys, are taking energy away from you to heal and breaking you down. Narrow focus, those people that are narrow-minded and they're not listening to anybody else, they're not seeing the world of possibilities. Just being aware of the world of possibilities is going to shift you up a level.
Exactly.
Because suddenly you go from, oh, that's the way it's going to be. That's why known is in there. I mean, if everybody was the same and everything was known, then where's the growth come from? Growth comes from the friction and the problems in your life. When I came back from London, the couple things we discussed, Samira, I had to grow because it had to make me more aware of what and why. And guys, if you've been doing a lot of work, you're going to get what's a spiritual flu. Just drink lots of liquids and do that good stuff. But also forgive yourself and forgive others is a big thing. But you cannot stay in that thought process. And you just may have residual energy. Like I do a lot of work all the time. And I'm like, now, why did I attract that statement to me when I would have been working diligently? I don't call it work, clarity, getting clarity on to be the best me. And the shaman I talked to said sometimes it takes a bit. It's got to clear. I work on with energy codes about clearing your grid, clearing your mental and emotional grid around you. There's many ways to do it, but awareness is the first. When you are aware of your words, aware of your actions, aware of the people you're hanging out with, you're never going to quit drinking and smoking if you go to a bar every night and hang out with those people.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, you got to give people stories they understand, and everyone in their mind went, oh, yeah, I smoke whether I smoke or not when I drink. Collective conscious. You just understood the collective conscious. Why does that happen? When I have a drink, I want a cigarette. Because it's happened forever, and everyone says it and does it all the time. So they lock it in the grid. Okay. Was there anything else? Reality determined, cause and effect. That's obvious. Okay, good. Okay, creation. You get the good one, Samira.
Yeah, you gave me.
Balance, expansion, which is I love the word expansion, and I feel that. Anabolism, health, order, repair, regeneration, love, joy, trust. Those are my favorite. Selfless, no thing, no body, no time. I'm not sure why those are there, but
no, because we just talked about the three things. If you look at the other side, the environment, the body, and the time, how you get locked in that you're a thing. You're not a thing. You're a no thing. You're not a somebody. And then you're not the body and you're not the time, because the time is where they get stuck in over and over playing that story. And so that's why it's there.
Okay. And then energy created, and you can create energy and be on tap. When you're aligned, it becomes ever flowing. So that's energy created. Growth, repair, open, focused, connected. Connection is so important as well. Reality beyond senses. Exactly. Reality beyond we only scratch the surface of what we understand. Really.
I think we're at 1% really of really what we could know. And so when you even just say that, all possibilities, guys, we get locked into that little tiny little speck of pepper every time.
When you can have abundant all possibilities, anything is possible, Sean.
That's why who you hang out with, guys. You got to be around happy, high vibrating people. And guess what? We all have crap days.
Sure we do.
High vibrating. So what do? You call somebody that you connect with that knows you're not a negative person, but you need to talk through a problem, an issue, the way you perceive something. If you understand life is perception, this is an illusion. And the second you change your perception, I just watched this and it reminded me of mirror work and everything put together. So your perception is the energy you send out and it keeps bringing more back to you. But what you do is you validate it. Let's say it's negative. She's always a bitch when I walk in the office. Hell yeah, she is, because you just said it, you thought it, and you sent it out to her, and she felt the energy, and she felt the bitch energy. So she's like, I ain't changing. You change it the other way, and it does work. Like, find that bitch. And we all have them in offices, guys. If you work in an office, there's not shows made out because it's always fun. There's that one negative Nelly complaining about everything.
Oh, yeah.
So you sit at home and you go from your heart and send her love and visualize she's just going to be fun today or nice today or not have negative things to say. And you will see the shift because you shifted the vibration, frequency, energy, vibration. That's what we live in.
I have done that so many times. I've seen the people shift in front of me. And on the days that I've done the meditations and breathing, I've got the changes, the transformations of those people. I've seen it.
Okay, you mentioned two things that are super important: breathing and meditation. I don't care what we're talking about. We got to stop and talk about that right now because there's the key to it all. So breathing, we breathe very shallow in the Western world. It's like
I have so many clients who see me and they're having anxiety. And then they're basically
clenched up, contracted.
Exactly, and I have grown men. I'm showing how to breathe correctly, and some of them start to faint.
Yeah, because they can't do it. They haven't had air in them for so long. They're like, I'm seeing stars.
Exactly. They're saying, I'm feeling giddy. And I've had to hold like guys who are 6 foot, 6'1", holding them so they don't slip back. And say, don't worry, I've got you. Just start breathing. And I have to show them how to breathe.
One of the big breathing things I learned in energy codes is she does it a little different. Most people go in through the nose and out through the mouth. She goes in through the nose and out through the mouth, in the belly, out, super Buddha. And then your lungs, guys, when you breathe through your lungs, you just activated more stress and flight and fight. Hate to tell you that. Breathe deep in your belly. And when she goes in and out through the nose, and I can do this in a class one day, it's really super simple but powerful, is it really is what Joe's doing in his Blessing the Energy Centers. And so the universe knows where you are in the universe. It anchors in that spot so that your higher self in these parts can find you. Seems crazy, guys, but more to come on those fun shows. So we just went through some of the survival and some of the creation. So whether you download the journal or not, these are super things, easy things that you can do. And if you want to be a yet better you, that's why we do these shows, is to help me, help you, help everybody. Because when you are the happiest and you get out of bed and you look forward to the future, what great energy. Do you think your kids pick that up? The animals pick it up? Everybody picks it up. And the ones that don't are the ones that need the shifting the most, but we just are responsible for us. And we shift you, shift me, we all shift together, and that's how we light up the planet and win. Just by being and having everything we deserve and being who we really are. When I came back, I kept writing #truth because I remember Brian Rose saying, just stick to the truth of you. And I knew that. But it was my soul kept writing it because of the challenges of everybody telling me to be something I am not. And so
when you're authentic self, you're completely aligned. Everything flows. Be yourself. You know, as long as you're not harming anyone. We all have gifts. We all are here for a reason.
And we're all different.
And we're all different. And it's okay. We don't have to be.
I want to tell you a quick story. Steve Harvey, I was watching this video and this guy was in sales and he was good at sales and he just wasn't happy with it. But, you know, he goes, oh, how can I get a job and keep going day after day to find this job? And I'm not getting the job. And he goes, what do you love to do? And he goes, I love to cook. And he goes, because the universe will continue to get in your way until you get it. You need to go to culinary school. You need to go be happy that every day you get up and you're cooking. And he goes, because all he could think of is, oh, I am a salesperson. That's what I do.
Right.
So programmed into that. And he was miserable at it. So do you think he was going to get hired? He's sending out miserable energy. I hate this job. I really don't want to be a salesperson.
See that?
That's what it's about. It's simple, guys. Write down all the things you're saying that are false, that are untrue, that are creating the stress. And from that point, it brings the awareness that you can say, stop, shift. I like to say shift because I immediately see the shift for myself.
And I see it for myself too. Huge shift this year.
Huge. They have
I've seen huge shifts in my life. My life is incredible.
Well, that's why 2020 is coming, and this is a big, 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 big year for the feminine divine energy, guys.
I agree. No doubt about it.
No more wars. I've never understood that. How many people can I kill? I win. What?
What? Oh my gosh.
Why do I live in the woods without a TV? Because it doesn't make sense to me, and I like my bubble. My bubble's awesome, guys. I have a peace pole in my backyard.
And you know what? I live in the city, and I have no TV, and I'm very happy with that because
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a TV.
that's it.
I don't really believe that the nicest thing you can do to yourself is get rid of a TV because you are programmed out of. I mean, I just downloaded it to see the weather thing, and like WCCO, and it's like nonstop right away. It's like, oh, close the app. It was just like I felt the negative energy. And guys, this is an energy portal. Your TV's an energy portal. You're getting positive energy from us. But especially those of you that fall asleep to your TV, no way.
When I moved to my new apartment, I got rid of my TV.
But people fall to their TV, and everything's energy. So is the dark side energy, and how do they get in? Electricity. Guys, that's a whole other deep show I can get into because I studied that. I was a grid worker, and I didn't like the hell part. Been there. No, I'd rather do live streams and help you with the book Rewiring Yourself.
I love this book. And I brought it with me on the trip.
Oh yeah, and guys, everything is energy. So like,
I brought it with me, and I'm going to read it tonight on the plane.
A gift to myself, November of 2019, because you deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, write stuff like that. You guys want to write. Like I'm writing Brian a thank you note because typing is energetic, but to me it's higher self, heart, hand. And the truth of your heart comes out when you do it.
Honestly, Brenni, that's so true what you're saying. It's so true.
So Samira, whoever thought you and I'd be so much alike? And we met in podcast school.
That's great. That's awesome.
Incredible. Honestly, we are so connected. It's incredible.
It's great because like when I'm talking, I'll see her go, yeah, and I can see in her eyes. She knows exactly what I'd be talking about. Some people are like, huh? See,
it's the power of the internet.
That's okay though, because I've been doing quantum physics stuff for over 20 years, and I grew up with Native Americans, so I didn't even know I was doing it. In high school, they had us doing yoga and meditation, and we didn't even know it. So I guess all my life I've done this stuff, but I've studied diligently for 20 years with masters from China. I mean, I've got many modalities. But so I don't care what people think. And that's why I'm ready to help people see that they're in an illusion. And I don't care what people say about me. I get it anyway. She's crazy. Well, whatever, in a good way.
We all are. We're not wrong.
We're at different levels is what I'm saying. Like Angeline is in stage, in the beginning stages where she's manifesting now and she's understanding the matrix and she's seeing the world of possibilities. I've studied with Bob Proctor, John Asseroff, Nancy. I've studied with a lot of the big thought leaders. Now, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying you have to go what works for you. We're at different levels. I don't want to, like in Feng Shui, I didn't want to teach the basics over and over. I was way up here studying stuff and making my own programs up because that's what my master told me to do when I said, well, I got this off the grid. And then I found a book was written on it. How do you like that, guys? The grid. So if you are like wanting to learn about the matrix and understand consciousness and see how simple it is and you're just starting, message Angeline.
Thank you.
She's got a Facebook group that it starts and explains the ego and explains consciousness and unconsciousness. That's who you want to go with. If you want like firecrackers and people that have been doing it and helping shift people for a while, well, Samira and I are here to help you. So, and whose personality do you like? Do you like the wild, crazy country girl, or do you like the more sweet and mellow little firecracker? You're a firecracker.
I don't like sweet and mellow, that's for sure.
Firecracker. That's for sure, Samira.
Sorry.
So, guys, that was chapter 5, and I'm going to talk to the group. We want everybody to catch up, and we need to catch up ourselves because we graduated, and a bunch of us went to London, and energy's been crazy in the universe, as you know, especially America, lots of politics going on. Don't get sucked into that. That's the best thing you can do.
I agree.
See somebody makes you mad and posting negative stuff, unfriend them or snooze them, because you're gonna react to it. If they bother you, snooze them. It's working for me, Angela.
Oh yeah, I know that. And speaking for myself, the VIP block party.
You guys have a block party. It's called block party. Everybody's like, man, not a problem. Block.
You know how many people I blocked this year, and I've added new people to my reality because I realized that they don't belong in my reality anymore.
So guys, once you understand Facebook is a marketing tool, you don't have 3,000 friends.
That's true.
So if it's a marketing tool and everything you click on, they're putting that stuff in front of you, why don't you have the group of people that are like-minded like you and maybe at your level or a level before, and that you're going to be able to help them? They're going to follow you because you have the information they want to know. The more why do we do these live streams? To help you guys, and then you can get turned on to this stuff and find the people. That's why I do summits, so you can find the coaches you've been looking for and didn't even know it. You just suddenly go, oh my God. Somebody shows up here and goes, Samira, I just get her. I like her energy. I've got to work with her. That's why we do it. I'm not sure. You're stuck with this, people. You either like it or don't. So that was chapter 5, and here's the great stuff. Well, let's just make a decision right now. We're coming to the new year. So what is next Friday? What day would that be?
January 3rd. I know that because it's 2 days before my birthday.
Oh, everybody! Birthday coming up. Birthday party.
Birthday month for me next decade. That's right.
Okay, I'm going to make a executive decision here if these ladies agree. Next week, we're going to take off so everybody can catch up to all the chapters, and the journals will be complete with the questions you need for the couple of chapters we're missing. And that way, guys, I personally am going through it with all the other stuff I do, but it's huge shifts for me, and you cannot read this, listen to it, or hear it too much, because that's going to shift you. And like I said, if you need coaching, like if you're in a bad place, it's the holidays.
Oh, sure it is.
Message us. We don't have to do it live with you here, but if live coaching calls are great because it helps many, many people in the same situation. But if you're shy and need help, just message us. We'll help you. That's what it's
Exactly.
That's how we save the world. I'm on a mission, man, and it truly is. That's why they're in this group here. It's to make you aware of the world you live in. You know, my podcast is called A World of Energy, and somebody goes, oh, that's you. I didn't think of that. It is. But mine's about we live in a world of energy. In feng shui, everything is energy. Your intention is foremost. Your space reflects your life, and you mirror nature as a model. So if you're going to make highways that go straight and never turn, guess what? The energy. And I wouldn't want to be the house at the end of that road. So what's fun for me going through all this is I am now seeing feng shui, and I studied with 3 different masters in a totally different way. I'm now being able to put together the meditations we do and the information. And a lot of this information has only been passed verbally for thousands of years. You're not going to find feng shui books before the 80s. My master brought it to America and made it so we all can understand it and benefit from this tool. You didn't really want to be in feng shui because if you can, help wealth and all these things and shift energy, they just may want to kill you if you're an emperor. Think about it. They were undercover. So anyway, guys, hang out with fun people and people you resonate with. And we will be back. The next week, we're going to do a catch-up week. We might pop on. Are you guys willing to pop on Friday just to answer questions if they have any?
Yeah,
maybe.
Absolutely.
So that'll give everybody time to catch up, guys. So our podcast is on iTunes or on Anchor, either one. It's called Open Books, Open Minds. And I know I had a link here.
Right. And I started a watch party. So watch party on my page. I have there's a whole slew of people tuning in right now. So I'll post the link.
Yeah, guys, that's what you do. So you can listen on our iTunes or our Anchor channel. Mm-hmm. And there's a link right there in the comments you guys should be able to click on. And that's the journal right there. So we want you to use a journal. We're on fire.
Woo-hoo! We're on fire today, girl.
Guys, it's always more fun when you do stuff in a community. So who are your friends that need shifting if you want to keep them as friends? Because when you shift up, those low vibrators will go away because
That's right.
you your friends. So if you like somebody and you want them to hang out, start a block party and watch this stuff together. Get together and do the journaling and stuff. I mean,
love
movement like that. Make it fun. This book.
You know what I have to do now? This is my journal. I have to buy a new. I'm going to buy a new one.
Guys, can we talk about journals really, really quick? Because I'm powerful about this and it's been popping in on every, you know how all of a sudden things just pop up? Blue new pen nobody's ever written with. Blue. Now, don't ask why, just do this. And white journal. A brand new journal with white paper, not off-white.
Okay.
New pen, new journal, no energy in it. Before it comes in your house, bless it. It can be as simple as, you know, if you're Christian, you do the sign of the cross. It can be as simple as universe, remove this energy. I sage everything because I grew up with Native Americans and I just see because I want you to understand people are moving these products and they may not love their job. There's a
exactly the same with food as with anything else.
So you pick it up and you're like, why am I so angry? Because that guy hated his job. He made that food taste like crap because he hates his job. So, yeah, I mean, that's how powerful it is.
So true this is.
We're going to have a show on with Emoto one day because that's what we studied in Feng Shui, the power of, yeah. So I'm going to be doing a show on that. Samir, sounds like you'd like to pop in on that one. I'll tell you something there that's really simple to do is I printed off his water crystals and laminated them and I used them. I put my water on them. So all day long I'm drinking love. I'm drinking thank you. And if you look at the water crystals, they form these beautiful,
stunning.
But Bach and Beethoven, good. You say words like I hate you and kill you and you make me sick. There's no togetherness. It's just So anyway, guys, we could just go on and on and on and on because we like this kind of stuff that we're doing here. So for a recap, please catch up, go to iTunes, and we would love for you to write a review. At least give us a 5-star, share it out, start block parties when we do this stuff so that your friends and people you know need help can get shifted. And you don't have to call them out. You can say, I'm doing this really cool thing. Maybe you'd like it. And it could be the thing that saves their life. It could be the thing that lets that person who has not stood in their power come out in the universe. And they could be the one person that saves the planet. You never know. So come from an open heart, invite others, do the work. We'll be here next Friday to answer questions. But we're just going to get the journal caught up. And I think that would be a good way to start the new year. Organized, clean, and with good, pure intention. So go in and have fun. Don't look at it as work, guys. You get to design your life. Woo! Woo! Until next Friday, thank you very much. Please invite people to our page. We're here to help you. Boop, boop.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.